right, good morning, Absa fellows. My name is Rian Immelman. Welcome to this live broadcast, our onboarding session for the 2023 cohort of the Absa Fellowship. Welcome. You are one of 57, or you are 37 of over 1,000 applications that we received from the Absa Fellowship this year. So you can tap yourself on the back and say, wow, I've made it, and I'm one of 37 of the Absa Fellows. So congratulations with your selection. And it is good to connect with you. I'm looking forward to catch up with you in person later this year or maybe next year. We will see how things evolve. And really, my job is today just to do the opening for you. So in our team, we've got Fanny Lobu as well as Marlies van der Merwe. They will introduce themselves a little bit later, but that is really your mother and father of the Absa Fellowship. So if there's background noise from my side, I'm sitting in Fourways. We've got an offsite at Absa currently, so if there's background noise, just excuse a little bit that. So really, I just want to do the opening, fellows, and I want to encourage you a little bit this morning. And I've got a quote here from Dr. Maya Jameson. Now, Maya was the first African-American woman to travel space, and she was obviously a NASA astronaut way back in 1992. I think maybe before you were born. But in any case, so Maya said that she was also a physical engineer, a professor, and obviously a medical doctor as well. So she said that don't let anyone rob you. Listen carefully. Don't anyone rob you or your imagination, your creativity, or your curiosity. It's your place in the world. It's your life. Go on and do all you can with it and make it the life you want to live. So, fellows, you've got a great opportunity in front of you. You are selected to be on this leadership development program. Please make the most of it. Be curious, be creative in this journey, because this journey will be the next 4 years, 5 years, and make it your own. And don't let anyone rob you or your imagination, because I can promise you that you will have challenges during your academic year, during this leadership development program. But I want to encourage you that no one must rob you from you or your imagination. Be creative in this journey. Challenge your fellows, if I can call it that, and just make the most of this journey. This is really my message from you. We are now in our third cohort of students, and some of them dropped out. And it will be challenging, but there's no reason for you to drop out, because you've got a support system around you. You've got your father and mother at the fellowship. You've got access to me. You've got a whole of people around you. And Fanny and Marlies will tell you more who will be your Absa fellows going forward. So that's really my message from you to you this morning. I want to hand over to Fanny. Fanny is our project manager, administrator of the Absa fellows, and he will elaborate a little bit of the next journey in your life. Thank you, Fanny, and thank you for your passion for the students as well. Thanks.
right. Thank you so much, Rian. Greetings to you all. I hope you're all good. My name is Fanindovu, and I'm Absa Fellowship Project Administrator. So without wasting any time, as Rian has given us a beautiful introduction, that's very motivating. I'll just take you through the Absa Fellowship overview and also give you the expectation. What is the program all about? As now we move on to our first slide. So the Absa Fellowship Program is a program where it meets its leaders at the forefront of possibility, daring them to lean and change the world in a way that ignites boundless imagination, creativity, and curiosity. The program welcomes and supports growth leaders who have the worldview, a genuine desire to change the world, people like you, but are deeply loyal and committed to Africa. You are our future heroes, our conscious CEOs, our presidents, our groundbreaking scientists, our life-changing artists, our brave, passionate, and ready activists. The program develops leaders who are fellows with all the tools, heart, grit, influence they need to do what they were born to, which is to change the world. Let's now move on to the next slide to discuss more about what the program is all about and how it will work. So I'll give you a high-level overview of the program. So the program will run concurrently with your undergrad degree, which is it will be 4 years of it. And then from there, we have 4 years in the program. So in year one, we'll get you ready and then try to stabilize and help you to settle in campus and then be familiar with the environment. And we encourage you to discover your own grit and resiliency and tenacity. So we believe that education is the foundation for you to discover yourself and your own authenticity self and focus on personal mastery that allows you to find the unique leadership skill that is within you. So in year two, that's when we get started, and then that's when we start continuing to build a leadership within yourself, and then the context of citizenship and trying to focus on the effectiveness of communications and becoming a positive influencer on forming the foundation of the entrepreneurship. Because that's what the world now is all about. It's all about having a strong communications and that effective leadership that will help you to run the world and be a leader to yourself and everyone. So in year 3 and 4, that's when we focus on the critical design and system thinking and put you the skills that you have learned about the leadership into practice, and then through the community projects and also through any intern work that you'll be taking also, that's when we start putting the leadership into action. As now we move on to the next slides where we will discuss more about what is the expectations that you can expect from the program and also what is expected from you. So the Absa Fellowship Program, it basically has two components, primarily, which is the leadership one. That's the reason why we are here. And then the secondary one is the academic support. So with the primary one, which is the leadership, you will go through the leadership development through e-learning, and also you have one of the master classes with our facilitators throughout the program of 4 years. And also you will receive emotional wellness support from ICAS and Education Evaluate that will help you whenever you have a problem, are there for you to support you to deal the problem that you're having. And also you'll also get the benefit of receiving academic tutoring with Elevate, whereby there will be your guide in terms of how to study and how to find your way and also how to prepare for your exam. So on the second component, which is the academic support, your tuition will be fully paid. There's no need for you to pay it back because the main reasons for you to develop a leader, and also you'll pay for your educational support and then cover everything, your laptop, books and everything. And every month you'll receive the monthly allowance, which will cover your stipends and accommodations, medical aids, and other benefits that we think are in need for you to achieve your success as being a professional, whatever career that you are studying, also to cultivate the leadership skill that's within you that you don't know that you have it. As now we move on to the second slide, that will take you what can you expect from the program. So over the above and then accessing the quality educations over the next 4 years. So we'll be able to achieve these outcomes, which to create a defined personal leadership vision, a proactive ability to create value for yourself and others, and also to develop a deep sense of how can you be a service to your community, which you live in and work on, also to your friends and family, the ones that are close to you, you can apply those leaderships to them. And also to obtain a broader insight into a new perspective of the African context, and to develop an optimistic ability to be future focused and think more creatively about the solutions to the African challenges that you can see that we are currently facing now. For instance, as most of you, I believe that having traveled the network, so we need leaders like you who can resolve the problem and also try to supply the more electricity as the demand of people who want houses increase. And also, you will learn how to frame and execute community impact projects, and you have the capacity to develop and contribute a network of high-performing individuals, as now you'll be exposed to meeting other fellows who are in different field of streams, which you can be able to build a proper network, and also to other members in your classes. You can also build a network with them. That's our goals to create that network for yourself. And we also develop a multi-level view of communication as an interconnected system. And we'll try to give you an understanding of the global, regional, and the country level, where you come from and our current context. And this informs our future views. And then you'll be able to surface your own conscious bias and will remove all the disrupt stereotypes that you may hold in order for you to constructively engage in mindset that is different from you. That's when you meet with other fellows. And also will build an alumni network to pay it forward. As I've mentioned, that now it's a chance for you to build a strong network that you can use for your own benefit in the future and that you can use to change the world. As now we move on to the next slide that I'll be discussing now, which I will be taking through the Absa Fellowship role players. So in the Absa Fellowship role players, we have the Absa team. Can you please, Jeremiah, go back to the previous slides? We have the Absa Fellowship team management, who will ensure that the program is coordinated and roll out as we intended. And you have yourself, which is you, who have been selected to be an Absa scholar. And we have our facilitators who will facilitate our online sessions and provide all the master classes and also assist you with giving you the solutions on how to answer all the activities that you'll be given. And we'll create a syndicate group where it will be you fellows, and where you collaborate with other fellows from different universities and others in the same universities. That will be going through the 4-year program, and then you'll be given activities that you guys need to perform and also assignment. And we have your academic tutors, which it will be people from Evaluate that will be there to support you around any issues that you have and also any encounters that you face in your undergrad studies. And also you will get a wellness peer-to-peer mentor who will support you on day-to-day and help you to adjust into the new environment of being in first year up until you are comfortable with the environment. Now I'll take you through the next slide, which is the leadership calendar. So I'll just touch base the high level overview of which, like now, which is next week, Tando, she will take you through how Promote works and how to use the platform that we'll be using to complete all the activities and also to engage with our facilitators and other students via this platform. And then we'll receive the leadership program from one of our facilitators, which is Tanya Steven from Bitclear. She will be the one who will be providing you guys with master classes for this year. So we'll be having, in the upcoming weeks, you'll be having next master class, which will be on the 1st of May, on the 4th of May. So we have an options to attend one of the sessions. So each and every master class, it will have 2 classes. If you can attend the first one, you'll be able to attend the next class. So it's up to you when are you available, but you need to attend one. And also towards July, you'll be having an online assessment of which you'll be required to complete about discovery insight. And later towards the end, also you'll have a discovery introduction work session and also report debrief around October. As now, ladies and gentlemen, I move to the next slides of which to take you through what is expected from you as a fellow. For you to be the part of the fellow, you need to show up every day and then be part of it and then embrace the opportunity and then enjoy while you learn. And we have set the requirements for you to continue staying in the program for you to be funded on the following year is for you to maintain 85% attendance and participation in all of our master classes and your e-learning activities. So which is compulsory, and also you need to maintain a 65% pass rate towards your academic year. And mostly we receive most of the questions like, what happens if maybe you change your field of study or you fail to meet the above mentioned requirements? So unfortunately, if you change your field of study, you'll forfeit the opportunity of being funded. And also, even if when you fail to meet the above mentioned requirements, you'll forfeit the scholarship. But we do provide an exceptions for those students who fail, only given that you have met all the leadership requirements, which is 85% attendance, and also you have completed all of your activities in a link. So we do provide an exception for those students. But given the fact that whatever module that you have failed, you'll be required to pay it yourself, because all we needed from you is to pass and then progress to the next stage. And as we believe that we'll be providing you with the enough supports for you to succeed in your academic studies. As for you, all I want to keep in mind is that you need to stay up to date with your fellowship program administration, all of your e-learning and master classes. It's your responsibility to ensure that you attend, and also all of your tuition fees are fully settled. So it's a responsibility to ensure that there's no amount outstanding. If there's any amount outstanding, you need to be in touch with me so that we can handle it. And also you need to proactively engage with me and update me with any changes in your circumstances. And we have tried to schedule our session in such a way that is much flexible with your university diary. And sometimes, like if you feel like or not feel like, if there are any reason that you'll not be able to attend the session, given that the session is on the day that you'll be writing, you have to let me know in advance that you won't be able to make it via WhatsApp or via email. So as now I move on to our source of communications that we'll be using, the next slide. So our formal communication has to be via email. If you're having any problems, any acknowledgements, or any query, you need to email me directly. And we'll create a WhatsApp group where it will be all of you fellows, which are 37. So we will provide any of the updates and anything. And also you're allowed to text me privately via WhatsApp. And all I need from you guys to use communication etiquette, and also to respect one another, not only for myself and the manager and Rian, but to respect also your fellows and then everyone. That's the culture of you cultivating the leadership skill of showing respect to others. And also all the time, like when you send emails, please greet first. So it's so rude for someone to just to bite you with questions without greeting you. So, ladies and gentlemen, that will be the end of the overview of the fellowship program. And then now I will introduce the Absa fellowship team. As I've introduced myself, Fanny Ndovo, the project administrator. I'll introduce the one and only, the manager of the Absa fellowship, Marlies van der Merwe. I would like to thank her for giving one the opportunity. She's the one who has put all the work and make this program become a reality. As yesterday we were having a meeting, one of our stakeholders, they were shocked that the program is currently running at the 3 years now. So we have fellows who next day will be finishing the leadership program. All thanks to you, Marlies. And I'll introduce Tando Glavo, and Malcolm Delves. So these ones are the ones that are responsible for coordinating all the work and also making sure that information is uploaded on time and promote. And I would like to give Marlies a bit of 2 minutes just to share her words and greet you all, guys. Thank you. Over to you, Marlies.
Oh, thank you. Okay, well, welcome everyone. I think I have communicated with some of you via email in the past week or so. So welcome. It's going to be an interesting journey. It's going to be a nice journey. It's going to be a tough journey. We're going to have fun. Fani and myself will join you in the master classes during the evening. So we know it's a long day, but just know our day is long as well. And to support what Fani said, if you keep quiet, we don't know if there's an issue. Speak up, tell us. Don't wait until it's too late for us to help you, especially when it's going tough with the academics. If there's a reason why you're struggling, at the end of the year, when it's too late, we can't help you to rectify some of the things. We are giving you a solid support structure, especially from the Elevate side with academic tutoring. And with the emotional wellness, we've got Vandra that you will meet a bit later, where we provide you with coaching as well. So tap into the resources. It's the brave of us that speak up when it's tough. If you're quiet and you speak quiet, then you know there's a lot of development that you need to do on your side as a leader, because to be able to stand up and acknowledge there's a problem and then to work on it, then that's a success. So welcome, and looking forward to meeting all of you and working with you. Thanks, Fani.
Thank you so much, Marlies. And then now I'll hand over to Thando to take you through the leadership program journey, how it will work, and then what to expect over the next coming 4 years into detail. Over to you, Thando.
Thank you, Fani. Thank you so much for the great introduction. Good morning, everyone. My name is Thando Dloba. I am part of the Demand and Delivery team, which is also known as the Program Management team within Absa. So myself and Malcolm Davies, who's also on the screen, will be your support for the leadership development program. So throughout the 4 years, we will be the ones that are assisting with making sure that Promote, which is a platform that we'll be making use of, is updated. It has all your resources. It has all your session links, your times and dates for all your sessions, for your master classes. So just at some point, I'll just be taking you through the presentation so you have a sense of what to expect from the platform itself. So as we move on to the next slide, just to let you know that the Fellowship Development Program is really about developing leaders. And you'll notice, as much as you're in varsity, we're not calling you future leaders, because leadership begins now. So we are in a time, like Fanny mentioned, where everyone right now has an opportunity to come up with solutions that better aid Africa itself, not just South Africa, but Africa as a continent. And how do we help build it to make it better for all of us involved? So the fellowship program in and of itself, our vision is to make sure that, you join a community of future leaders in this instance, but in the context of now, you can start now becoming the leader you want to be in the future. You play a part in actively shaping our society. Absa as an organization is big on the role we play in our society, right? So we want to make sure that we leave a long and lasting legacy. So that is one thing you need to just also keep in mind. We do promote sustainability, so of self and of others. So like Rian mentioned, please be sure to tap into your creativity. Let no one take that away from you, because that's how you remain relevant and you sustain what you're building. It's being able to innovate. Become a catalyst for positive change and active force for good, like I mentioned earlier. The role we play in society as an organization is one that we are proud of. So as you are now part of the fellowship program, from a brand point of view, you are an extension of Absa. So you are now our brand ambassadors when you're out in the public. So how you portray yourself and how you come across is you representing Absa itself. So as we move on to our next slide, just to take you through the 4-year journey, we will focus on year 1. More importantly, we'll just focus on year 1 for you, because it's where you're at for now as you begin, but obviously there's a 4-year journey. So for year 1, we'll be looking at cultivating the person within. So it's building your character and your authentic self. As module 1, we'll be focusing on personal mastery. Fanny alluded to you having master classes. Your facilitator will be Tanya Stevens. So that is what you will be focusing on. And then we will be moving on to resilience and grit, which would be your next two-part series of your master classes, which really takes you through the building resilience and building grit. How do you build that sustainability in the world that we live now? It's about personal branding and communication. So how do you learn to put yourself out there? How do you learn to brand and communicate as yourself and the type of leader that you want to become as you grow within the program? And also then we focus on module 2, which is big on communication. It's that listening skills. It's your effective negotiation. So you need to be able how to negotiate. How do you negotiate who you are as a leader and who you want to become? And how do you effectively negotiate with others in specific circumstances and situations? And you need to be a good listener. Good leaders are good listeners. They also don't just lead, but they follow. And these are 2 skills that we will be focusing on. And like I mentioned, it's about me, it's about the self. So we're looking at building the character competency. Year 2, I'm not going to delve into, but it's cultivating the leader within. So we're looking at ourselves and others. It's the me and we world, looking at building your character, your communication, citizenship competency. Citizenship within the context of Absa is basically the role we play in our society, like we've mentioned. Year 3, we'll be looking at developing thinking skills for the future. So this is the relationships and the we. Now you're fostering those relationships that you've built within the fellows that are within your program. We're looking at critical thinking and creativity competencies that we're building there. Now you need to bring in the systems thinking element. How do you use your analytical thinking skills? And we bring that to the fold. And then obviously for year 4, we're looking at implementing for impact. So we're looking at entrepreneurship, we're looking at building societies, and this is where the part of playing a role in society will come forth. We're focusing on transformation and communication. We're building that citizenship and collaboration competency. So you need to be able to collaborate amongst each other and with others. As we move on to the next slide, where we look at the tools and the program activities. So you'll be in syndicate groups, like Fanny has mentioned, and in your syndicate groups will be individual assignments. So all will be allocated on Promote, which is what I'll take you through now. We're looking at personal reflection and metacognition activities. So this is all in relation to your master classes as they relate to Tanya. And also we're looking at self-awareness and assessment tools that will be added onto the platform itself. We have e-learning modules. So you have modules that you have to complete that are online, hence they're called e-learning. We've got master classes, which are virtual in this instance, where you'll be meeting with Tanya Stevens to unpack personal mastery, resilience, and grit. And then obviously we've got the program mentoring that forms part of the Elevate piece and other support piece. As we move on to the next slide, we'll speak on our Promote journey. So before we delve into what the platform looks like, so we have the Promote learner journey, and the platform itself is to guide you through the learner journey So it's a learner journey management system. It's a platform that allows all of us, you included, as the support team, to interact with each other, to communicate with each other. It allows you to have access to all your resources. It's a repository for all your resources that you'll be using throughout your 4-year journey. It's an opportunity for you to collaborate with other fellows that are on the program and with your facilitators. It gives you an opportunity to access your videos, your collateral, your e-learning is also based on there. All your links for your master classes will be added on there as well. How you join in, you'll be sent an email. It'll come from promotedlogin.com. That's how you'll have access to join in, and then you'll have to set up your account, but we'll go through that to the demo as well. It's easy to use. Content is available for you to see. It's easy for collaboration and engagement, like I mentioned, with other fellows and with your facilitators, with Fanny, Malcolm, and myself. And obviously, it's an opportunity for you to engage with the development program team, which is us. And as we move on to our next slide, I'm just going to show you what the landing page will look like. We will be going through 2 demo sessions just to accommodate the group. We'll speak about that at the end of the presentation. But this is basically what your landing slide will look like. You'll have a welcome. You'll be able to sign in. If you want to use your Google sign in, you'll be able to. You'll notice there that I've got my email address and my password, so I am able to sign in. We've added a single sign-on option as well, so when we go through the demo, it'll make life easy for you, so that every time you do log in, all it does is just takes you directly to your profile without having to really input your email and password again. So as we move on to the promote landing page slide, that's what you'll see as you're landing on. It's the program, it'll have your name, because you know AI is great in that way. You will have a tailored a tailored service that makes it look tailored to you and your needs. So, you know, your name pops up, so it welcomes you and you feel like you are really a true member of the fellowship program. On the far left-hand side is where you'll see your journey. In the middle is where we'll see our feed, and in the far right was our learner progress, but we'll go through that on the demo just to show you what it looks like. And on the next page is really our navigation video slide. So the video, this is just an image of the video. When we go through the demo, you'll be able to play the video itself. It's really a 3-minute video that lets you know how to navigate the site. Over and above me teaching you how to navigate the site, if I'm not there in any instance at any time of the day, you can go into this video and it'll teach you how to just navigate the site if you forget anything, that is. And then on to our e-learning slide is really just to show you what your e-learning would look like. That's what your e-learning will look like. So, you know, it changes throughout each topic, but basically it stays the same. What I must just reiterate is that when you're going through the navigation piece, there is the how-to part of using the site. You have to go through all those clicks just so you'll be able to complete it, because without going through all the clicks, then you don't actually complete it. And we see that a lot with the current fellows, but as I mentioned, through the demo, we'll look at that. And then we look at what's next for you guys. So what's next is you'll get the invitation email like I've mentioned. There'll be pre-work activities and e-learning that will start in May. Your first masterclass, Fanny has mentioned, will be on the 4th of May with Tanya Stevens. That's when you'll meet her, but her profile is already loaded on Promote. When you do get access, you'll be able to read through it if you would like to. The demo sessions will happen on the 25th and the 26th, 4 to 5. We will send out that invite based on your availability and class times. Please just accept the invite for that. And please do attend. Those demo sessions are compulsory. So you do have to attend, because that's the only way you get to understand how to navigate the platform itself, because you are using it for the next 4 years. So you do need to attend. And then with that said, you know, before we walk on off, I would just like to say thank you for the opportunity to being here to chat with you. Just to bring Malcolm up so that we can have him introduce himself. He's my partner in crime, so we work together as a team, and he'll just tell you just a bit about himself.
Good morning, fellows. Yeah, as Tando said, I'm Malcolm, her partner in crime. So most of this stuff, especially on the e-learning stuff on Promote that you need assistance with, you can let myself or Tando know, and we'll be able to assist you. If there's anything else, we'll navigate it between myself, Tando, and Fani, and we'll be able to assist you. I want to wish you all the best on this journey. Just know that you are blessed to go through this journey and to be to just have the opportunity to be on this program, and everything that it gives you to assist you to become a leader. As Tando said, you are a leader already. We're just upskilling you, and we're just assisting you in building onto that. So you a step above from all your other peers in varsity. So yeah, all the best and enjoy. Back
to Fanny.
All right, thank you, Malcolm and Tando. As now I'm about to introduce our external service providers that you guys will work closely with. So first, I would like to introduce Adam Dipros, which is a general manager at Elevate Educations, which they will work closely with you. They will provide student support and also the workshop and student wellness. And also we have Vandra Amaris on the board, which is from ICASA. She's a key account manager at ICASA. She will also provide the consultations and counseling whenever you have any problem. And we also have the Fundi Capital team, which they are not on the call, but which most of you have engaged with since they were responsible for the admin of the fellowship. They were sending out the offer letters and they will oversees the payments of your monthly allowances. So anything that has to deal with payment, it's Fundi's responsibility. They will ensure that you receive all your payments in time. As now, I'm handing over to Adam Dipros to give us more about Elevate Education. Over to you, Adam. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thanks so much, Fanny. Firstly, a massive congratulations from my side to all of the fellows. It's a wonderful achievement and we're really looking forward to working with you this year. My name is Adam Dipros and I'm the General Manager of Elevate. The first thing that I'll preempt, which I'm sure some of you may have picked up already, is that I am Australian. So that is the accent you're hearing, but I've been living in South Africa for just under 8 years now. And really our role with the Absa Fellowship Program is to support you and to give you strategies, give you techniques, and give you a mentor to support you through your undergraduate degree. So on the first slide, just as a very quick background, Elevate was founded 22 years ago now in Australia as a research company with the aim of finding out what do top performing students do in order to do so well. So how do they study? How do they make notes? How do they manage their time? How do they manage stress and anxiety? And what came out of that research was that top performing students were using different techniques and different strategies that were allowing them to do so well. So all of our work is around teaching you what these skills, what these strategies are in order to make your life easier, to make everything a bit less stressful, and ultimately to help you with your academics as well. So there's 3 components to the Elevate program. The first one, just on the next slide that you'll see, is that we'll be running a series of workshops based on the research and giving you really practical techniques to improve your study skills. And the way we do that on the next slide is we'll be running a series of workshops all online, and you'll have multiple options to attend to teach you these skills. So as you'll see, there are 3 different workshops we'll be running, one on time management, overcoming procrastination, which is a big issue, one on exam preparation and exam room skills, and one on memory techniques, different study skills, and learning advice. That's the first component. That will be done in small groups, live on Teams, and again, you'll have multiple options to attend. The second thing that we'll be doing on the next slide to help you is that we'll assign you a coach or a mentor. And all of Elevate's coaches are young, high performing. They've just gone through what you're going through. They know what it's like to transition to university. And their job, we talked about having a fellowship mother and father, is basically to act as your big brother or big sister. Someone who can give you advice, who can help you, and you can lean on them to ask any questions to help you settle into university as well. You'll be introduced to your coach in the next week, and they'll reach out to you to schedule those sessions at a time that suits you. And then the final thing, the last part of the Elevate program is, as well as your coach and the workshops, on the next slide, we'll actually give you an academic tutor. And this again will be a senior university student or a recent graduate, someone who's studying or just studied the same thing as you, someone who did really well themselves, and their job is to help you with your academics. So if you're struggling with any topic or any issues, the tutor can actually help support you with the content of your degree as well. So it's that triangle of the workshops, the tutors, and the coaches, all designed to help you and support you as well. And the final thing, just to give you a quick idea, the type of people that you'll be interacting with Elevate on the final slide, one of our presenters, Sia, is from KZN. He worked for Elevate as a presenter, as a mentor, and as a leader, and he's now working for Elevate full-time as our head of talent. But amazing guy, finished his degree doing architecture and design, has started a number of charities and initiatives. So we're really excited to work with you and support you this year. This will be the 3rd year working with a fellowship program. So if you've got any problems or anything you'd like to speak to me about, I'll be on the WhatsApp group and I'll send through my details as well. So can't wait to meet you and to work with you this year. Thanks very much. Cheers, Fanny. I'm going to pass over to Fundra now.
Thank you, guys. And it's wonderful for me as well to be part of this program. My name is Vandra Marie. I'm the Key Account Manager from ICAS. On that slide, I want you, if you forget everything else I'm saying today, just remember that the acronym ICAS stands for Independent Counselling and Advisory Services. There's a toll-free line there for you. Even if you don't have airtime, you can still use it. The toll-free line will work. So the independence in ICAS is very important. If I go to the next slide, it's important that we deal with your most personal issues. And I think a lot of times people are worried that the information that you're going to share with us are going to get somehow into the system and it might be impacting you. So whenever you deal with anyone from the wellness program of ICAS, it's a professional that you're going to deal with, either a psychologist or a registered counsellor or a social worker or an allied health professional. And all of us are bound by an ethical code. So any information that you guys share with us will stay within that boundaries of confidentiality. We are there as also your big sister, your big brother. We are there 24/7, 365 days. We are there at 2 o'clock in the morning. If you feel you are overwhelmed around any personal issue that is affecting you, you're welcome to pick up that phone and make contact with us. Anything that is involved in this program has already been paid for you. So you've got counselling available to you free of charge. We deliver our service in any language of your choice. Sometimes it's difficult for you to use an English language, for instance, when it comes to personal issues. So when any language of your choice, you can engage with us. And then very important here, if maybe you are supporting your family, or someone is staying with you where you are residing, they are also included in this program and can make use of that. Why? Because they also have an impact on your wellness status. The next slide, please. So what is the psychosocial counselling support about there? It's a telephonic option where you can get full-time counselling via telephonic means. If then maybe you would feel that you want to go and see someone face-to-face, there's also the opportunity for you to be referred to a counsellor of your choice. We will ask you a few questions around who do you want to go and see, at what time of day you want to go and see, where should these people be residing, etc. So you can also have options to face-to-face sessions. And then we have got a trauma and crisis line. We know that trauma happens either at work, at the university, or in your personal capacity. So whenever trauma happens, guys, please reach out to that toll-free line and we will immediately assist you with that. We have seen that 1 out of every 7 problems that we present are stress-related. The whole program that you're engaging us are a full-packed program, and stress is one of those things that might creep up. So please, 1 out of every 16 problems that we engage with are related to mental illness or psychiatric related, and that's what we are here for, to really assist you within that psychosocial space. The next slide, please. So this is just the contact numbers that there is for you. There's a toll-free number 0800 214 773, or you can dial a callback at *134 *905#. Or then I'm going to introduce you now to the ICAS Hub, which is an online app that you will have on your phone. You don't even need to remember the toll-free numbers at that point, because from the app, there's a toggle button. And then also you can receive counseling via text-based functioning on the app. Just a note on this. Whenever there's a crisis, guys, please don't use the callback button, because there's a 24 delay of us getting back to you. If it is a trauma case, you need immediate assistance, please make use of that toll-free number. Next slide, please. You guys can go into your Play stores that's available within your cell phone and go and download the ICAS Hub. It's going to ask you for an app code. Another thing you need to remember, there it is, ABS 003.
put that in. The reason for that app code is we have tailor-made the experience on that ICAS hub then to everything that is available to you. So one of the actions following my presentation today, to please go into your Play Store, go and download ICAS Hub, and there's the code for you, ABS003, and then you have got access into the program. The next slide. Again, guys, I want to reiterate, it's confidential. We deal with personal matters every single day of your life. There's only one time we will go outside of the boundary of confidentiality, when there's suicidal risk, or when there's a risk to others, or when there's a risk to damaged property or crime being committed, or then when there's possible harm to children being committed. The next slide. I want to thank you for listening to me today, and I'm here available. My cell phone number will be available to you. The program is live as from the 1st of May, and you have got full access then to an array of counselling and personal wellness support. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Vendra and Adam, for giving us a lovely presentations. I feel like I can be a student again so that I can receive the support that you guys are offering. I believe maybe I could be a doctor now if I had that type of a support, but unfortunately, I didn't get those resources. But here I am. I'm here as an Absa Fellowship Project Administrator, which I'm so excited. As now, ladies and gentlemen, we are opening the floor for any questions that you might have, and then we'll only have 10 minutes for that to address any questions. Over to you, Marlis. I see your hands is up.
Yeah, thank you, Fonnie. So everyone can just, in the chat function on your call, put your questions on and we will answer that. So we have received one so far. It asks, what happens if you only study a 3-year degree? Then you're lucky. We actually will cover your honours degree as well. So we are forcing you to then proceed to your honours. So if you choose to finish after 3 years, that's your choice, but you do have the option to get funded for the 4th year so that you can complete the full leadership program. Then, Luke, you were asking about where do you register for the portal from Tandu's conversation. She will send out to you guys the link. She's going to almost pre-register you on Promote with the email addresses that we've been using to communicate with you. So on that email, you'll receive the link for Promote and you will then create your password and you will have access to that. And then with regards to payments and the money that you receive, will you need to provide Fundi with receipts for material bought? No, what we're doing is for stationery and for books, you will get an allowance and we will give it to you twice a year. So you saw, I think it's 7,000 a year. We'll give you 3.5 now and 3.5 second semester. So you buy your equipment yourself. Laptop, you will be given a list of options that you can select from. One of the suppliers from Fundi, and the one that you select, they will then deliver that to you. If it is that you are studying a degree where you need a bit more of a super max laptop, or you do a designing one that is outside of the specs that we are the ones that we provide, or you have already bought your own laptop, then we will refund you the equivalent of the 9,000 Rand that we offered in the offer letter. There you will have to submit the invoice as well as the proof of payment so that we will refund you that. Any payments that has been made towards tuition, accommodation, to your landlord, we will, based on the proof of payments or the receipts that you have, and the statements, we will refund you that accordingly. So everything that you claim for that, we need to have the proof of payment so that we can see that it actually was paid, and then we will refund you according to that. What we will do is we will give you your stipends backdated for 1 month. So we're being nice. Fani convinced us that students need money. So we will pay you your meal allowance as well as your stipend and your data allowance for for April, as if you were on the program already. And then obviously end of the month, we will give you your May allowances. So every end of the month, we will pay your next month's allowances for you. So we don't work backwards, we pay you in advance. So just make sure that your money lasts that long. I know there was a question previously via email that I received about the medical aid. The medical aid, you need to be on a student medical aid. So that's typically, I think, Ingwe is the Momentum student medical, and there's, I think Fed Health has got something as well. We do not give you an allowance if you're on your parents' medical aid. The medical aid is not compulsory, but if you do wish to be on a medical aid as a student, it needs to be a student medical aid, meaning it's in your name and you're the only beneficiary. You need to apply for it. We don't apply for you. We will only give you, once you've given us the proof of your membership, we will start giving you the, I think it's 495 Rand a month, Fani, which is in line with the cost for the Ingwe medical aid. Let me just see if there's another question that came in. Are we allowed to share the content of the program with other peers for their benefits? No, because it is a specific program developed for you guys. Obviously, what you learn, you can talk about it, but you can't show them or share with them the material that we give or any other, or they can't attend the master classes. Okay, Luke, you've got one more question. Will the main form of communication be through email? Yes, so as Fani mentioned, let's do email, guys. It's easier to keep a paper trail. We have some of our other cohorts that ask questions on WhatsApp, and Adam and Malcolm and Fani can attest to it. In the end, there's 87 different conversations happening. We're going to lose track of that, and we're not going to answer you, especially if it's something that you need to know. So, and we also don't want you to share things that you want to put in public for everyone to see. So best thing is that you can talk to one another on the WhatsApp group. If it's something that everyone probably is asking, like what time is the session and where's the link, which happens often, it's fine. But anything that relates to money matters or any other thing, email Fani. If you have something with Adam, you can email Adam, CC Fani, just to make sure that you know that between us, we can all pick it up. And if leave a paper trail, it's easier for us to make sure that we answer more emails. We're going to miss some of the WhatsApp groups. And then on the portal, you'll see when Tandu takes you through it, it's more collaboration type of email. So when I go in and I have a task to say about what did I learn about personal mastery, and I give a comment, and you can go and comment on mine. So it's almost like a Facebook engagement type thing. But again, the e-learning platform that Tandu is talking about is not about I didn't get my stipend or my student fees is in arrears or things like that. So it's only related to the master classes and the topics on that. Okay, let me see if there's any other questions.
Yes, there is questions. I see that Pelele is asking a question regarding like what happens if you stay at home. So if you stay at home, like you will not receive any travel allowances, you'll just only receive meal allowance. So, and also we have another one that says that are you allowed to increase your meal allowance? So it depends on how many meals you are planning to take, and also is it in line with the capped amount there? You are allowed to do so, but it has to be in line with the capped amount.
Okay, so just to what Fani said now, if your meal allowance currently is only 16,000 at res, you are allowed to go up to the max, which is about, I think, 30,000 allowance. So you can increase it at the university. They load it onto your student fee statement, and we will then pay the university. I know some universities like UP, you have half your options. So in the end, you capped at the maximum amount we've got in the offer letter. So we won't pay any allowances higher than that. Then Prince, you're asking, does it mean February and March allowances won't be dispensed? No, because you weren't a fellow then. So technically we only saying that we've got a financial obligation towards you from the date that you signed the contract. That's why we include April. But February and March, we didn't know who you were and that you will be on the program. So there's no contractual obligation between us and you guys for anything earlier than April. Okay, I think that's all the questions. One last chance. Just see there's another one.
What Marilis mentioned regarding the meal allowance. So if you get a university meal allowance, so you will not receive monthly allowance. Only those who are not entitled to university meal plan that will receive a meal allowance of 3,000 every month that will be paid into your account. So if you subscribe to university meal allowance, you will not get that meal allowance stipend into your account every month.
Also, I've just remembered now something funny. You do not have to, if you stay at res, we don't force you to be on a meal allowance option. You are allowed to receive the monthly meal allowance directly from you, but we will not pay you a monthly meal allowance and then suddenly there's a meal allowance option on your statement that we also need to pay. We don't pay double. Some of the students, what they do is they do take out the meal allowance option with the university. We don't pay the university, but the monthly fee we give them, they then go and pay the university themselves as they use it. But it can create a bit of confusion on your statement ultimately. So I would say you're either on a meal allowance and it gets loaded onto your statement, or you're not on a meal allowance address and we give you the money monthly. The same then, you will then be treated as if you stay with your family or your friend or whoever at home in a private a flat or something. Okay, we're going to close off now because we actually have a very important and person that we want to introduce you to. So I'm going to hand over to Fani. What we will do, guys, if there is a need for us to stay longer, the whole panel that's currently on the screen, once our speaker is done, she will do a bit of a Q&A session with you afterwards if you want to ask her questions. And then when that's done, we will stay on a bit later if you think of questions that you want to ask us once our speaker has finished talking. So Fani, I'm going to hand over to you.
All right, thank you so much, Marlies. As ladies and gentlemen, now we are moving to the next part of the session that I was waiting for, and I believe that everyone is excited. With this one, I'll have to read it out because the catalog is too big for me to remember everything. So I don't want to miss anything. I want you guys to know who is she. She's a global ship navigator, African first female drag master who is passionate about unlocking Africans' ocean economy with over 13 years of experience in the maritime industry. Her background includes a maritime studies, international merchant shipping experience, advanced dragging from Netherlands, and a former maritime compliance manager at Transnet Ports Authority. A founder of Maritime Youth and a chief executive of Women Maritime. A Black Excellence Award-winning woman in scarce skills, more especially in the transportation sector. Ladies and the list keeps on going and going. If I want to mention everything that she has done, I will just take the whole of the next upcoming 30 minutes. So I'll just keep it short. She's also known as the Black Mermaid. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Lundi Nobo on the floor. Over to you, my captain.
Welcome on board. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much, Fanny, for a nice introduction. It's so crazy. Just, knowing that it's actually my profile. And most people say I look young. I'm actually 36 years old. And yes, it is a long profile, but exactly what I hope to instill today with our youngsters that are so fortunate to have you guys on board, to kick them off their matriculants, certificates, all the way up to their respectful degrees. I'm excited. Welcome on board. Mine is very simple this morning. I'm just here to tell you guys a story. Probably one of the last stories you'll hear, because nurturing ends and now you captain your ship. You are now at varsity, and no one, absolutely no one, will be nurturing you into class, telling you when to attend, telling you what to write, giving you everything of the sorts, besides this fellowship program that you're now part of. I remember very well, very early in my varsity years, I was so scared. Everything just looked too big. The fashion just looked too much, and I barely had clothing. Now imagine now with this story that I'm going to share with you, I want you to imagine yourself as who you are now and where you want to be in the next 4 years. Mine this morning is simply just to say to you, you are the captain of your ship. I'm Captain Londi Nobo. If we were physical, I would have given you a very nice task for us to start off with. But because we've connected virtually, I understand that we've got limitations. So I hope that you can still continue to focus on this story. All right. Hard to port, hard to starboard. Steady as she goes, and the ship steadied, cutting through fair winds and following seas. This is a 50,000 gross tonnage ship. So when you think of the ship, you think of no shipping, no shopping. This is a 50,000 gross tonnage ship full of containers. I have done maritime studies in high school. I grew up in a township called Claremont in Durban. And I did maritime studies, but none and no one wanted to connect with this subject, because apparently a black man can't swim. And apparently the ocean is too large to accommodate women. And apparently there's just too many limiting conditions that will not allow young aspiring captains to be accommodated on board the ship. But let me tell you something. This story begins where I am now in front of the ship in Singapore. I go up the vessel, the ship, and meet the captain for the first time. Hello, Captain. I'm Londi Jali. I'm here as your cadet. I've just finished varsity, and I'm here to be your intern. I was shown my cabin. I was made to wear overalls. I scrubbed toilets. I made coffee. I chipped. I painted. Next slide, please. This is a picture I want to share with you this morning. The observations on board this ship were so colorful, and everyone bidding goodbye to their loved ones, everyone bidding goodbye to their children, their wives, their girlfriends, their parents. Let me tell you what mine looked like. I had a bride at home. My parents finally saying goodbye, but this is what the neighbors were questioning. Is she going out to be a ship captain? Where have you seen a female, let alone black captain the Titanic? Where have you seen a young girl on the ship, not even as a cleaner? So surely she's going out there for prostitution. This is what the feedback I was getting out of my excitement, finally chasing my dream. And the neighbors would come through to say, what if your parents die and you are out there navigating ships all over the world? The feedback I had was from my very friends asking, what about your boyfriend? What about your parents? What if your man leaves you? The limiting conditions I came on board with were those that we shall wait and see. In Zulu, it will be called Sobesibone. However, coming on board this ship, I knew that I was chartering yet another course for South Africa, for Africa at large. And if they didn't get that, then at least something has to carry me through. I had very, very little resources, very little resources. And that is why I'm so happy for you guys that you've been accepted in this program. I'm looking at the presentation now with everything that is going to be offered. But I will tell you, and I hope that you will link it with my story, that if you had half the help that you've been offered now, if I had half the help, I think I would have turned out much better and much sooner than the journey it took for me to become what I am today. I'm on board the ship now, I'm on overalls. We are now sailing, leaving Singapore. We've bid goodbye to our family members in Cape Town, where we left Cape Town, Madagascar, Mauritius, China, all the way to the west, to the East African run. This Strait of Gibraltar has Africa on the left and Europe on the right, wherever you're coming from. So colorful, so sacred. This is me at the age of 18, and everyone is making noise about the Strait of Gibraltar. I didn't even know about it. I didn't even care. I just wanted to travel the world for free. But the beautiful thing is that at that moment, next slide please, at that moment, I didn't realize that as beautiful as these sightings were outside, were the people I was on board the ship with. On board the ship, there was Aldo. Aldo was a Filipino chef, and he would eat rice with his hands all the time, all the meals, rice, and he would have it with his hands, and we'd laugh at him all the time. And then there was Shorty. Shorty was a witty, annoying guy from Cape Town. He was just singing in alleyways every morning, wiping floors. He's just one of those annoying guys that would just, you want to miss him every morning. Like you don't want to bump into Shorty. If it's that side, you want to go that side. But he would be so kind to me all the time. And I would imagine this is probably Funny with your fellowship program, Funny, the one that just presented now, because he was very nurturing and understanding of my age, my dynamics growing up, my background. He was cognizant of my culture, and he would say to me, I have an old soul. I've been the youngest on board this ship, but now you will be the youngest, and don't worry. Come to me for help. Shorty was just that kind of guy. And that girl, that young girl, that'll be me. They said, give her her first gray hairs before she can even go behind the wheel. Sadly, and this was coming from the officers that wore white crisp shirts with gold bars on their shoulders. And I've worn this uniform for you guys today in respect of my story. And hopefully you will be able to bask under my sun and be able to realize your own through this program. The officers had no respect. Anyone below their gold bars was a person of no significance. Shorty was annoying to them and people-pleasing and very confused. Aldo was the most barbaric chef that ever worked with. And that girl, I don't know what she's here for. And that time, guys, that time, I'm just as qualified. The intimidation is that I will take their job tomorrow. But look at this. I'm just a girl, hungry, hopeful that I will come back to South Africa with yet another evolution and something to write on the books for Africans. All crew, all crew. Next slide, please. All crew, all crew. Do not leave from your current station. I repeat, do not leave from your current station. Next slide. the words that carried the whole time, that carried me the whole time with all the happenings and the confusion, meeting people that you barely connect with, saying goodbye to my family. Will the boyfriend leave? Will my parents die? Will I pass? Am I deserving? All of these questions coming through. I had to have something that carried me. I had my diary, and I used to live up with this quote. I choose not to be Rose from the Titanic. I choose to captain the Titanic. With every limiting thought that will come through, I would come and rise above it and say, I choose not to be Rose from the Titanic. I choose to captain the Titanic. But with this came a lot of hard work, internal hard work that I wasn't prepared for at my age. Next slide, please. Do not leave from your current station, just as I was confused. The Strait of Gibraltar has African pirates in West Africa. At that time, I froze hearing this voice from the captain, hearing this announcement from the captain. We had been attacked. Pirates on board. And of course, guys, I didn't stop to take this picture, thanks to Google. We'd been attacked. Who cares about this little dot that just joined on board, this little girl, because everyone is now fighting for their lives. Nonetheless, the pirates are so smart. They will put us all in this void space. In this void space, a small space that was able to fit 46 people. Not only am I the only female, but I'm also the youngest. And at that time, everyone is fearing for their lives because pirates want money and only the captain can release the money. But he's sitting on the bridge. The bridge is where we navigate the ship. We're coming into this void space now, being thrown in one by one by one. Memories flashing back. Oh my gosh, there were rides. I will amount to nothing. Nothing meaning death. I will amount to nothing. Nothing meaning I'm so fearful right now. I want to go home and I have no single stripe on my shoulder. I will amount to nothing right now. Nothing meaning no one cares at this very ship about a cadet, an intern. They want to save their lives. Let me tell you about the void space. And this is the space that you find yourself in right now. Note this. In this void space, as a young star, you are very confused right now. You've left your teachers from high school. You've bid goodbye to your parents and your caregivers. There's so much expectation landing on your shoulders right now. Is she gonna finish the degree? Is she smart enough to be able to carry herself well? Will she not fall pregnant? Will she finish the fellowship program? Because you want to succumb to everything else now that wants the pressures that are surrounding you. Even your friends that are coming through and saying, oh my gosh, listen, I've got this new app that you need to go to. It's an app that provides free entries to all nightclubs. Because you are confused right now, you'll want to succumb and want all these kinds of friendships. Of course, I will embark on this. I will download this app. Because you are now confused, you will think that you are too cool for even this fellowship. You got free of everything, and you think it's easily accessible, and you will start missing classes, and you will start missing your sessions. But I will tell you, I'm coming with this, and I want to plant the seed, and I hope that we can rope it in together in the end. Because of this confusion right now, you're coming with so many questions, forgetting that the basic need that you have right now is food, shelter, a pen, and paper. But you will challenge the program. Are we going to get paid? You will challenge the program. How much money are we supposed to get? You will challenge the program. We're not getting enough for food. The laptops are not of good standard. I can't log in. I'm sick and I'm sick and I'm sick and I'm sick and I cannot log in, so I will miss 4 of these important sessions. I've got a therapy session, but actually I could miss it because I think I'm still okay. Forgetting and completely disregarding the power that is right before you right now, which is this fellowship program. All crew, do not leave this current station. Let's come back on board because I'll be carried away trying to tell you guys what to do. I want to share with you what I did. In this void space, there'll be so loud silence. No one is talking to each other, but everyone is in this void space. 46 people. People are thrown in one by one. Your chief officers, your officers, deck officers, your engineers, your trainees. Aldo is here. Shori is here. But we're all in this void space, scared of this pirate. And loud noise will come through. Hunger will start kicking in. But guess what? Days would go by until we are served with the easiest meal to prepare, rice. And they would serve it with no spoons, no fork, because who cares about gold cutlery when the basic need is right before us? And we would have rice with our hands. And we would eat it with our hands, feeding off Aldo, who's always been eating rice with our hands. And I'm thinking to myself, I can have pap with my hands. In South Africa, we have pap with hands. But I can't eat rice with hands. But Aldo right now starts walking around showing people how to eat rice with hands. Even the very officers that were so eloquent, so perfect than anyone else, would start eating rice with their hands. Days would go by until this loud silence becomes too much to bear that we start hearing this humming voice behind us, Shori. And Shori starts giving us a performance of a lifetime. Because right now, Shori, you're not so annoying after all. Right now, Shori, we need you. We need your soothing voice because we are so scared. In this void space, we start feeding off each other's strengths and weaknesses. We start feeding off and appreciating each other until this one time, this girl, and that'll be me, starts taking the podium to talk to Mr. Officer and say, I'm just a girl chasing a dream. I want to go behind the wheel. Next slide, please. So you can imagine, we didn't get along and now we do. That'll be me, guys, right at the bottom, kneeling down next to the bosun's wife years later. I've cleaned up since then in case you don't recognize me. That'll be me. Next slide, please. The important thing is that at this time, with everyone in this void space feeding off each other, they start acclimatizing and warming up to this young girl because everyone is vulnerable in this space. No one knows if we'll come out alive until they share with me the tips to survive this industry. Because now they can see that I'm coming as I am. I'm not a Miss Know-It-All. I'm not a Miss, but I'm as educated as you are. I'm not a Miss, but you will train me. And then as days go by, me learning from them, I realize that I've got backup on board. It feels much warmer than the spaces I used to surround myself with. I would imagine that the fellowship program brings about that warmth to you because trust me, it will be cold. And your parents will not be there to baby you. And your granny will not be there to baby you. Mental issues are, spread out so much. There's just different kinds of names. There's just different kinds of issues that the youth is going on. I mean, the youth is suffering, but you have now the resources with you. If I had half of them, I promise you guys, but let me not digress. This call comes from the captain now, after weeks. I need a man behind the wheel, urgently. But guess what? Because I've opened my heart out to these people, they start looking at me and saying, this is your moment, Miss Charlie. I say, but guys, I don't have gray hairs yet. I don't have gray hairs yet. They say, this is the moment. Anyone could have taken the opportunity to save the day. And anyone taken the opportunity. I go up the bridge. The captain is lying down. Very few things all over the bridge, but he's lying down. There's a bandage, there's a knife. You can tell there's been problems and havoc, and the pirates have left the ship with millions. Ships go for years. They're a working plant. Hard to port, hard to starboard. Steady as she goes, and the ship steadied. I'm behind the wheel, and the ship is steady. I've utilized all the skills and the techniques that they've been teaching me in this void space. It wasn't clear because it wasn't tangible until I was able to infuse all my life and all my vulnerability within the resources that they had offered me. I navigated the ship. And when the storms would come through, would drop the ship anchors. I'm sure you know what the anchors are. And the ship would find stability, would sail the ship all the way through until we reach our harbor, the next harbor, and everyone would be safe. Next slide, please. I've prepared for you something very simple to take with. With time, after assuming everything, I acclimatized with everyone, started being known as the Black Mermaid because I came as me. I would call up the captain and I said, I'm the Black Mermaid. Thank you for giving me the opportunity, Captain. I've done A, B, and C. I made that coffee. I scrubbed that toilet so much so that even if they decided to replace me, no one would have anything on me. With time, believe it or not, you start enjoying the journey. After the confusion, after the havoc, after the hardships, I started enjoying Christmas on board, something I never imagined I would have. I started enjoying my birthdays on board. I was actually getting trained, and I actually started enjoying traveling the world for free. Next slide, please. With all of these things that have come together, I know for a fact that had I not assumed captaincy early enough, I would have crumbled. I wouldn't have been able to be even behind the wheel as early as I did. And so I want to share with you 3 of the most important tools that I want you to use within this program. And I'm sure you're going to get so much more. I've been on a senior leadership program myself, and that was only 4 years ago. The stuff that I got to learn, and it was much later in my life. So when I heard that there's 37 students that are coming in this program and they come from matric, I just was blown away because I feel like maybe you may not realize how important it is, but as you go through this program, you will see how fruitful it is. The stuff you will know is beyond what people at management levels, sometimes in other organizations, have been exposed to. Assuming captaincy, right now, you've been accepted. And if I were you, I would claim captaincy as early as now. I would even be making noise on social media that I am part of the Absa Fellowship Program. My bio would be popping right now that I actually am part of such a big company's fellowship program, and realizing how many students would wish to be part of the program and how many people that are sitting at home after doing very well in their matric and still couldn't get the opportunity. Assuming captaincy means that by all means, I will try my best not to even miss a single session, not to even miss a single master class, because you don't know who is watching. And those that are watching will know as early as the first session that Spesihle, Fani, Londi, they take this program seriously. And when opportunities come, we definitely have these first 3 names. Assuming captaincy means that you know that when they ask for 65, we are going for 100%. If we land safely at 80. Assuming captaincy means that you will stand out. And when you do stand out, you will claim that captaincy because you worked for it. Assuming captaincy means that if you come from a disadvantaged background, you will know that now all eyes are on you and you ought to shine and you will not disappoint. Assuming captaincy means that maybe you will be the first to even have a degree in your house, in your family, and you will bring it home. And guess what, guys? I brought it home. I came back with one first stride. A year later, I would be away for a year, back maybe away for 6 months, and come back for a month, and I would go back again. With all of this, the answer now, my parents would say, for those that thought I would go out for prostitution because they had never seen a female captain, he'd say, where have you seen a prostitute with gold bars on their shoulders? And when the headlines started hitting about this girl that is doing what I'm doing, headlines will come through and my dad would say, where have you seen one that comes on TV in uniform like this? But it's interesting, just nonetheless. Assume your captaincy. Let them call you Beyonce if they have to. You have to stand out. Second, best is okay. But we are assuming captaincy in this cohort. Agreed? I hope we're together, but I know there's thumbs up. Second one. Next slide, please. The anchors. Now, this is very important. There's a lot of noise around you right now, and there will be noise around you. Some people are much cooler. Some come from rich families. Some even already have cars. They come into varsity with cars, and some are just cooler than you. Some are just smarter than you. Find your anchors. The ship would roll and pitch, and we drop anchors and it's found its stability. Find your anchors and look no further because your anchors are here. This program is your anchor. When then noise comes through, you come to this very anchor to find yourself and find your footing and ground yourself again. When things start confusing, you come to your anchors. When life gets challenging, home gets challenging, you come to your anchors. When studies become challenging, you come to your anchors. When you get sick, even, you guys are so lucky, you will come to your anchors. When you are hungry, you are coming to your anchors. It's such a privilege to have anchors as early as now. I would call this program your anchor, and I hope that with time you will realize how much anchored you will be. Unlike the other students that wouldn't even have laptops, that wouldn't even have textbooks, that wouldn't even have support that you guys have been exposed to. Find your anchors. You have found your anchors. Sit in your anchors, and you will be unstoppable with the challenges that are coming that will come your way. You will be able to fly through them. Let's move on to the third one, the third and the last one, the voyage. You are now on the voyage. You've claimed your captaincy. The voyage is a journey. On the ship, we call it a voyage, from port to port, from harbor to harbor. That's the voyage. You are now on a journey. And believe you me, you know the kind of uniform you may want to wear when you one day are an employee. You know the kind of stilettos that you want to wear. You know the kind of fade and haircuts that you want to rock, or a kind of suit tailor-made that you want to rock when one day. But it's not that clear because you're at the beginning of yet your destination. This then paints a picture for you. Because as you go through the master classes, you will start developing yourself. As you will start coming closer to what you think you are, who you think you are. As you come closer with the master classes, so much more will be opened up to you. So much more will be much clearer and much more vivid. I like vivid there, the filter. Much clearer in that sense, that you will start even realizing that within the career or within the field of study that you've chosen, there's so much more to be done. You can stand out. There's so much more to be explored, and you can stand out in that field. The voyage is confusing right now, and the challenge is that you ought to sit in the anchors so that it may be clearer and clearer by attending this session. Even when there's group work, assignments, there's nothing as challenging as group assignments, because you learn, you have different dynamics and different personalities and within your anchors, you will know just exactly how to navigate such things. I hope that I'm making sense, and I'm trying to keep it as layman's terms as possible, because I know you guys, some of you are much younger. The voyage is so beautiful because right now you get to craft your next destination and the next and the next and the next until you become, next slide, until you become not like Sis Londi, but what I want to share with you is my destination. I came to answer all the challenges that I was coming across because I found my anchors. My anchors were my parents, was my Christianity, wherever your religion lies. God became my anchor. My captain at the time, whom I thought hated me, ended up becoming my own anchor. I found my anchors and I became Africa's first female dredge master. I navigated the ship. I went stripe to stripe, from stripe to stripe, and it was seamless with time. I was able to utilize the help that was before me. I was able to utilize my anchors. I became Africa's first female dredge master. And guess what? The friends that were asking me, what if your man leaves you? What if your boyfriend leaves you? At the time, it was confusing because I loved him. But you know what? When you know your anchors, you will have feedback. And my feedback was, honey, I'm getting my lobola in US dollars. So if we have girls in this cohort, get your lobola in US dollars. That was my answer at the time because I knew that I needed to go. But they're telling me about boyfriends as if it's going to give me the career. The answer I want to give you, if you challenge at all about relationships, at all about whatever challenges you may have about relationships, a person who will know you are worth the wait. And so if you know that you need to attend the session, they can wait. Mine waited for many years because he knew that I was chasing 4 bars on my stripes, not 1, 4 bars on my stripes. I'm married to this guy now for 11 years. We've been together for 18 years. He knew my anchors and he knew that I was chasing something. So I hope that to those, because not all of you will make it all the way through, I hope that to those that fall off this program, the reason will not be because of a partner, of a lover, of a boyfriend and girlfriend that speaks you out of your greatness. I became Africa's first female dredge master, and I remember very well because I used to be stuck on board the ship and my friends would buy cars, and this one friend of mine bought a Mini Cooper and I loved the Mini Cooper, and she bought a Mini Cooper and I was away at sea and I was like, you know what? I'm trying to dock a whole ship. So there's your Mini Cooper. Well done. I'm trying to dock a whole ship. I hope this is your answer when it starts becoming challenging, that after 4 years, some people have been hired, some people have changed from program to another program, and you're still sitting within the 4-year program and you not getting the 75%, you're getting the, I hope that your answer is saying, honey, I'm trying to dock a whole ship. And you forge forward and you fight forward and you fall and fail forward because you do have the resources until you are able to finish the fourth year within the fellowship program. You don't know what lies on the other side. And I hope that what lies on the other side will have your name on it because you will stand out. And that's the promise you guys did make. I became Africa's first female judge, but I still repeat this because with my knowledge now, I was able to come back to South Africa. And the noise and the headlines that came after. I've sat in so many stages. I've gone in so many channels and TV channels, and I'm the first, but I'm ensuring that I'm not the last with everything that I'm doing. Next slide, please. The kids know me as the Black Mermaid now, but now I sit with being able to understand that the challenge also with everything that I've done is knowing that someone is watching, because someone is watching. And so as a leader now, I know that there's people that are watching also. You may have the younger siblings that are coming after you. You ought not to disappoint them, because true leaders don't create followers. They create more leaders. Someone is watching. The people who are watching before you, don't disappoint them, because they will hold your name in high regard and you will get opportunity after opportunity after opportunity. But the people after you, do not disappoint, because you don't want to be that statistic that say, but so and so also did it. That's why I'm doing it in this way. Next slide, please. Right now, students are able to read about me in schools. Next slide, please. Right now, students are able to know that there's an ocean and it bears so many fruits. They know about the Black Mermaid and that the ocean has so many opportunities for them. I want to challenge you. I want to challenge you to know your anchors. I want to challenge you to claim captaincy. And I want to challenge you to realize that in your captaincy, the success of a ship is not the captain. It's his crew members. You have your crew members. They've presented to you what they're offering to you. Claim this captaincy. I'm not saying be cocky, but know that you've got help and you're the captain of the ship. Know that all this help that has come before you, you ought to utilize so that you can be able to be the captain that you aspire to be. I had so much to share, but I know that time is against me now. But I want to take questions, and I think that the questions will help you, and maybe we can connect on social media also, will help you, but more than anything, help your peers in making sure that you stick around and you're not part of the steps that didn't make it in the end. Next slide, and that's a thank you slide. Thank you. I hope that you've paid attention, and I hope that my story was able to be of help.
Thank you so much, Captain. As now let's open the floor for questions, and anyone who have any questions can ask.
Suppose it was crystal clear.
I think we also, so they can send through the questions on the chat, and then we will get it via the WhatsApp that Ntokozo is going to send. So does anyone have a question? Londi, I must tell you, I don't know if I would have been sane after I Need to Look Pirates in the Eye. I've watched that, what was that movie of the pirates?
Captain Phillips.
Captain Phillips, and I must tell you, hats off. I don't think I would have gotten back on the ship, but I suppose, you know, we were forced immediately to go and sail the ship, so it kind of took your mind off. But after I get on land and I get my next call, I really don't know. I don't know, because that's obviously your reality. And I suppose we all have a reality in life every day, but pirates is up there for me, I must tell you. It's a scary job you've got.
Quite interesting. It doesn't happen often. It doesn't happen often. But I think it was fitting for me at that time. And I think that it's just sharing that there will be challenges. Some will be bigger than others, but you can conquer and still become that which you wish to become.
Cool. We're going to let Fani do the closing, and then we're going to ask the students to join us on this link, and then it's going to be a easier two-way conversation. So I'll hand over to Fani.
All right. Thank you so much, Maralies, and thank you to you, Londi, our captain, and thanks to you, fellows, for taking your time to join this session. For me, I feel like you guys are so much blessed with this opportunity, as this opportunity is going to offer you a lifetime skills, something that no one's going to teach you, and you'll be getting it for free. Because in this leadership program, you'll be able to understand yourself, self-awareness and consciousness. Because I believe that each and every time, whenever you are aware of your situation, where you are and where you want to go, it's easy for you to move forward in life. And you are where you are today is because of the decision that you made last year. Last year, you made a choice that you want to study hard so that you can pass your metric. Because obviously, we are here is because of your marks. Your marks speaks louder than everything. That's why you are here. So the decision that you made last year, you must make it even this year. And then plan your life. Where do you want to see yourself? So as one of the things that I love to say, like as a sailor, especially Captain Lundi can relate to this. Like whenever they get into the ocean, they use a compass to guide them to navigate the directions. Like now we are going north, we're going to Europe. Whatever direction that says south, east, we are not taking, we're only taking the direction that says north. So same that applies into your life. You must have a direction, have a clear view where you want to go. As I know, like I was once in a student, like I think it's 1 year, 6 months ago, I was once a student. I used to experience those such feelings whereby now we're having a test and then you find that some of your friends are not writing, and then now you have to choose. Are you going to party or are you going to study for exam? So it's up to you. And you have to choose which one are you taking. Are you taking your future serious, or which is going to benefit you for the rest of your life, or are you just going to live the moment and then enjoy while you can? So without saying any more words, I'd like to thank you guys, fellows, for joining the fellowship program and being the part of the journey. And I'd like to thank the support team, Absa, and also the service providers and everyone who was able to pull through, and the ICASA and evaluate education, also our guest speaker and yourself. I'm wishing everyone a good weekend, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the day, Friday and the weekend, and take care. And I'm looking forward into working with you guys and engage in the fellowship program next week. Thank you so much, guys. And then now, like, we'll share a link for you to join for questions that you might have that needs to be addressed. Thank you so much, guys.
Fani, just quickly, Londi has got load shedding and she's low on battery. So before we switch the students over, 2 questions to you, Londi. One, Luke is saying this might be an odd question, but what does the 4 bars on your shoulders mean? Or each of the bars. And then the second question is from Sipelele is, how do you cope with the sacrifices made?
I'll take the second one, and the first one is Googleable, just in case I don't make it to all the questions. Sipelele, how do you forward the challenges? Understand where you come from. Sit alone, chart where you want to be, where you want to be seen, and how would you like to be remembered. And with that, you will not be stoppable, because anything that comes through, you will keep remembering where you're going. And believe you me, it gets easier with time. But if you give up, you will never know. It gets so much easier with time. Just keep forging forward. if the challenges are coming through, you are lucky because you're in this program. But if the challenges are coming through, know that you're not the first one to experience them, and you're not the only one who's experiencing them. Go for help, ask for help, and forge forward. It's not rocket science, I promise you. Even the healing process, if there was someone you were to lose, even any kind of challenges. But for me, I knew that when they called me that I'm going to be a prostitute, that's why I'm going away. When they were telling me about my parents dying and I'm not ever going to see them, all of those things became limiting conditions to me. But I knew that, yazini ngizobabonisa, I shall show them that Africa can be of something. And right now, I'm everywhere. Like, just think about what kind of noise would you like around you when you are done with your studies, when you've embarked on your career. And I like this kind of noise around my name. I'm the Black Mermaid and I own it. And I get called everywhere. I work globally. So think about the kind of noise you want around you, the positive noise that you want around you, and go ahead and be the center of that attention. if that makes sense even. But yeah, nothing is impossible. You can conquer anything. So I think that's what carried me through. With the bars, as you saw in that picture, one was vertical, and that's when I was still a cadet. The first is the first license, which I got to get within the 12 months of my time at sea. The second one I got after another 12 months. That's the second officer. So third officer, second officer, chief officer, captain. But it's Googleable. If I'm not clear now.
Awesome. Thank you, Londi. Okay, so there hasn't been other questions that has come through. So I think you're welcome to stay on as long as your battery lasts, because the students will now join us via the link, and we will then in the meantime deal with questions, and then when they're on, we can see if they've got any other things that they want to ask you.
Okay.
So we just need to figure out. Okay, cool. Thanks.